Coach.
John, go ahead.
That play that they were running over and over, LeBron at the high post, the handoff and roll. Did you guys find a solution for that, or did they just stop going to it before?
Well, we got one stop on it, which was big, but that was something they fell into. They just started running options off of it. It's something we will figure out.
Anthony?
Coach, Anthony Gilbert, Slam Magazine. Can you talk about the fourth quarter and your thought process and what you wanted to execute once they started playing a little better and took the lead?
We wanted to get stops, and then we wanted to make sure we got good looks down at the end, and I think we accomplished that. As John said, they fell into a play that, we had trouble with. We found a way at the end of it on the last possession after a timeout to kind of talk about it, and we got a stop, and they went away from it. So it's something that, they kind of fell into, and when you got LeBron James as your point guard up at the elbow, they executed pretty well, but we finally found a solution for it at the end, but it was almost too late. But again, it was more finding them in transition. They got the three ball going in transition, more in random play as much as anything else in the second half.
Chris on the right side.
Chris Parker, Cleveland Scene. Coach, you guys had 19 free throws in the second half after having 0 at halftime. What did you do to kind of help that, and how important do you think was that to the ultimate result?
Well, again, we kept being aggressive. We just kept on driving to the basket as they were, and creating contact. And that was something we wanted to do is make sure we attack the paint, attack their feet, and our guys accomplished that.
Steve,
Dwane,
back left.
Steve Simmons, Toronto's son.
Back left, Dwane.
Where is Steve? Oh.
Can you capsulize what this means for your team, for the city, for the history of the Raptors?
Well, again, it's one game, Steve. I know that sounds simplistic, but it's one game in a series, a 7-game series. We're in it. Someone mentioned that we were in it just to win one game, and I disagree with them. And we're in it to compete for a championship. We're here, and again, that's why we went through the season for us, try to go as far as we could. We're a step ahead in the process of our growth process. We're not there yet. Right now we've found something, but again, I still say that we're a young, up-and-coming team that's got to stay hungry, it's got to stay humble, and continue to compete with poise. Because again, nobody thought we was going to be here. Nobody, gives us a snowball chance, and where to beat Cleveland. But we just got to keep on churning, keep on working, keep on grinding to try to continue to win.
Josh.
Josh Lewenberg, TSN. Coach, there was a play in the third quarter. Kyle hits a big shot. You call a timeout. He sort of waved off a couple of celebrating teammates as if to say, relax, stay calm. When you talk about playing with poise, playing with composure, how crucial is Kyle?
That's huge because I thought that the beginning of the fourth quarter, that group that went there, we lost our composure. That group lost their composure. And when we put the starters back in, they kind of regained their foothold and got back under control. I thought that was huge for us. And, again, I've always said compete with poise. Stay consistent with your emotions. Don't get too high, don't get too low. And I think that's paying dividends for us now as we go through this tough series with a great Cleveland team, with one of the best players on the planet. And we got to continue to have that composure and compete every possession with poise.
Joseph.
Dwane, Cleveland hit 3 of their first 23 threes, I believe, and then hit 8 of their next 9. During that stretch, was there anything defensively you saw that you didn't like, or how much of that was just evening out?
Again, I thought we were all over Shannon Fry. I thought we were as close as you could get without fouling him, close enough to touch. And they made some tough shots. J.R. Smith came in and made some tough shots. And they're tough shot makers, so I don't know what else we can do except get in the uniform with them and try to stop them that way. But they made some tough shots. That's what they do. Kyrie Irving is a tough shot maker, and then you got one of the best passers in the world in LeBron James. So they cause a lot of problems for you defensively. I think we held them in check in the first half, and they ended up shooting 47% for the game. So we got to figure some things out to make sure we give ourselves a little bit more of a chance to get to the three-point shooters and even closer as we can possibly get on our closeouts and read some situations where we don't commit it as much on the rolls, and pick our poison.
Steve?
Dwane, that play with 42 seconds left, did that unfold pretty much the way you envisioned it?
With Kyle Lowry?
Yeah,
it was.
switched
That's
over
exactly
into him?
what we wanted. But again, we were fortunate enough to get the switch we wanted, and Kyle executed it.
Is it that over the course of the last 2+ minutes, Kyle Lowry was able to, defend or at least be, guarding LeBron and not have that become a problem?
Well, it is a problem. He had a couple of switches that we didn't want, that they created, and we created some switches they, I'm sure, didn't want and got. So that happens in a game, Steve. Mistakes happen. I think it was 2 possessions in a row, maybe 3. We was trying not, but they set such good screens that it gets a 9-1-1 situation where you have to. But again, there's situations where you almost put into us where you have to screen, and I think that's what they did to us, and vice versa at the other end. We were able to do that with them.
Rachel?
Rachel Brady, Globe and Mail. Dwane, how close were you to putting JV into the game, or did it just not present itself today?
I tell you what, I almost did, Rachel, right before halftime, right before Biz got their 3rd foul. That's when I thought about it, but, it was such a short time, and, it was a defensive possession, and he's been sitting there the whole first half. So, again, we got to, the next couple of days, tomorrow he'll get a good workout. Wednesday morning he'll get a good workout and hopefully get that ankle good and strong and give him another couple of days to go. But it was close. But I thought just the game was so intense to him going there and not loose and tough, coming back from turned ankle. It was been tough for him to get in the flow of the game in crucial situations. So we hopefully can ramp him back up and get him going for Wednesday.
Ryan?